Hi, everybody. Salini here with another scintillating reading for you. This is my channel, and I'm Salini Divine Mother. I have another channel, Salini's Divine Mother Collective, where we're going to be doing some spiritual teachings. But for the moment, I'm just trying to get this going after having been taken off YouTube, like a lot of people, just for telling the truth, talking about healing, how to help people get well. We're not allowed to talk about that, but times are changing for the better. So I'm here and I'm a healer, a shaman, a divine mother. I'm an author, a speaker, global visionary, sacred alchemist. If you're interested in healing yourself and spiritually awakening, book a session with salini.love. It's in the down below in the description. I do all kinds of stuff, and including, I have special training. I'm a licensed addictions counselor, trauma recovery, past life regression, soul retrieval, mind control deprogramming. I am a survivor of sex trafficking and MK Ultra trauma-based mind control. I was taken into sex trafficking by the Masons, and I have healed. I escaped and healed myself. So if you're interested in healing from a severe abuse of any kind, I'm an expert on that, especially satanic abuse and sexual abuse. If you're recovering from addictions, I can help you with that. Most addictions are about trauma underneath that. And then if you're spiritually awakening, I can take you through that because I've had a massive spiritual awakening as a result of what I went through. So, and if you're just, you don't feel good, I can do a Reiki treatment on you. I teach Reiki. I teach Jedi warriorship, as I am a Jedi, and I also do animal Reiki. So I just wanted to give you a little intro. Those are some of the things that I do. This reading is about divine feminine leadership and power, which is going to take over the planet and heal the planet right now. You're going to see the women starting to take over and to do, it's already started, but I'm going to get more and more do the healing that needs to happen on this planet. We need to replace the patriarchal warmongering leaders with, they don't all have to be women, but people that have a heart and a soul and who care about humanity, and as we can see, there's a lot of people who don't. So that's what this reading's about. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle, and I'm shuffling to prepare for that. And sorry, take my gum out. So, how's everybody doing? I hope you'll subscribe. If you subscribe, I'm going to pick a few people. If you want a free reading, you want to put down in the comments new subscriber Salini, and I'll pick you out. I'll pick some out, and you get a free reading, and you tell me where to send it, and we'll go from there. Okay? All right. So what do we have to say? Holy Spirit, please. Divine feminine transformation. Divine feminine transformation of the planet, please. What do we have to say here? What do we have to say here? That's too many. Divine feminine transformation. What do we have to say here? This is a new deck, and they're really hard to shuffle because they're really stiff. Divine feminine transformation. Okay, do we need to? Okay, it's telling me to shuffle a little bit more. I hope everybody's doing great as we move into the fall and into major global awakening. We just passed through a divine trine of it was divine energies. Christ-like came through on the 23rd and the 24th. So we are in a Kundalini awakening right now. So if you're feeling funny, you're just awakening is what it is. And you might be releasing trauma, you might be, overcoming darkness. You might be remembering things that aren't pleasant and they're coming out of your body. Let me see what we got here. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a yes that this is ready. And so let me turn the timer on. I forget. Come on. Okay, so let's put the timer on. For I don't like to go too long with these readings. So let me see if I can keep it under that. Okie doke. Here we go. Interesting. Yes. Hmm. Wow. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So this looks pretty clear to me. Um, on the card, I do the Celtic cross usually. That's what I've got here. And I know you can't see the cards. I'll hold them up for you. But what we have here is the Three of Cups reversed. This is this is people who are just not good. I mean, this is partying, too much partying, gossiping, overindulgence and everything, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And this has blocked the divine feminine from being the divine feminine because of bad behavior. When people get really into this lifestyle, there's no love. It's just pleasure. And maybe we all go through that for, when we're young, but it has to stop after, you just really can't do this for very long, or it destroys the heart and it destroys the divine energy. More than anything else, people who do a lot of partying are destroying their life force. It's something that you can only do for a short period of time. Excuse me. And naturally, as soon as I start a reading, my throat starts to do that. Um, People who party for too long will cause a fall in their vibration to the point where they may not be able to get out, and it'll ruin their future because their life force will become enslaved by dark forces. And this is where the divine feminine comes in, the divine mother comes in to release people through love. So I'm not saying that sex or those things are bad. It's just overindulgence of anything is not good for you. So, if you don't have any heart, and if it's all about pleasure, you will not awaken. You will go through a successive depletion of your life force and your true life path and what it is you came here to do. But if the Divine Mother is present, you have a hope for a full life. So, or the divine feminine energy, because she brings the healing and the love, and you got to let that in. And that's what really relationships are about. Relationships are not about sex, they're about true love and spiritual awakening. And when you have a relationship like that, it's priceless because your whole body, mind, and spirit will heal and uplift, and happiness comes and peace comes and everything. So you can party till you pass away, which will be early. You'll have an early death. Or you can begin to experience the divine love that's present from the divine feminine, and it'll change you completely, and you won't even want to do that anymore. So here she comes, divine feminine. So on top of that, so this is a divine feminine reading. So the question I asked was, what's the message for the awakening of Earth with the divine mother, with divine feminine presence? So right on top of this party life, it's not, it's everybody. It's not just the few people partying. It's the whole world is in a very pleasure-oriented, money-oriented, lustful-oriented lifestyle. And here comes the star. So this is a very high level divine feminine energy. And it could also be a divine masculine. But we're talking about divine feminine today, so I'm going to say divine feminine. And it just so happens that almost always the star card is represented by a female. This is Aquarius. For those of you who are Aquarius, this is your card. I'm an Aquarius. So I get this card quite often. This is a card of the one who has faith, purpose. She brings the divine truth to earth, divine love to earth. It's a very spiritual card, and it's a person who is very spiritual or individuals who are. It's about rejuvenation, healing, spiritual awakening. She's pouring the waters of life into the earth. That's what's on top of these negative forces that were below it. That's what's going to heal this planet. So, and guess what comes right after that? So this is the Celtic cross, and it's in a certain order. So crossing those people who experience this divine mother energy, this healing force of the mother, will experience great abundance, joy, and happiness. So immediately after you experience her presence, here comes the Ace of Cups, which is compassion, joy, happiness. Your cup runneth over, overflowing abundance, overflowing emotional joy, overflowing goodness, just everything, it could be your intuition, it could be marriage, it could be happy feelings. It could be a new job. It could be a new baby. Well, it's just the best of life that life has to offer, an overflowing cup of abundance in every area. So this is coming. The moment that you surrender to the Divine Mother, all the good stuff comes, everything good comes for you. So I have a lot of negative cards here from the male side. I'm sorry, this is not about men against women or anything, but it's the patriarchal male energy, the distorted male. Obviously, there are good men who also have divine feminine in their hearts. But this is like what's blocking us is this distorted masculine. I think we all know that when you've got a bad leader who's all about money, power, war, fame, whatever it is, I'm the biggest shot in the world and I'm going to create a world war and blah, blah, blah. Those are the kind of distorted masculines that we don't need anymore on the planet. And that some of these are in this reading. And then there's there are women like that too, distorted females. I'm just saying, when you have a balanced, beautiful, divine feminine energy, it's going to heal you. It's going to heal the planet and it's going to heal you individually. So now we're coming up on a few of these distorted male energies. So at the basis of this reading was a very, very immature energy of whatever it is, the male energies that have not evolved into their higher self, have affected the ability of this planet to heal. So it's blocked, it's not creative, it's insecure, it's immature. And this is a interesting card to come up here because it's a Page of Cups reversed. And normally a Page of Cups is bringing good news and maybe even love. But this is reverse, and the page is the youngest male energy. This is indicating to me a very immature male energy is what has been ruling the planet and blocking our blessings, blocking the divine feminine. And then in their immediate past, so that was the foundation of this reading. The immediate past, and it's over, but is also a male energy, but it's more of a positive one. It's the Page of Wands. And this is like new ideas, creative potential, free spirit, exploration, freedom, things like that, which we had, but it got blocked by the negative male energy. So this could be male or female. You can change the gender. This is really a general reading for everybody. So it's not really about men or women or anything. It's about everybody. But the question I asked was, how is the divine feminine going to affect the awakening? So this is like, this here to me is like genderless. This is an energy of creativity and inspiration. And that's past. And now again, we got this negative male energy here. This is the Knight of Cups reversed, which is you know, a negative male force. The Knight of Cups is usually somebody bringing love or making a love offer, but instead this is somebody who's really uptight, moody, jealous. And this is the energy, this is the negative male energy. And this is the immediate future. This is what has blocked a lot of the awakening that's going on the planet. So it's not an individual, it's an energy. So this energy of the negative male, we got both of these reversed. We got this one reversed and this one. We got the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So these are both like, this is like a cup is about love and emotions. So these are suppressed emotions. These are suppressed emotions and somebody very negative. And so what that indicates is that the suppression of the male emotions has blocked the divine feminine from being divine, from being able to give love to the male energy. And this is so true. And if the male energy doesn't open their heart and just wants to fight forever and ever and ever, we don't live in the Fight Club, we don't live in world wars anymore. We can't do that. Maybe when you're 20 years old, it's fun to do all that stuff, but at this point, World War III spells the end of all life on Earth. We cannot allow that to take place. So this male energy needs to grow up and become a good leader and a force for good. And that's going to happen when he lets the star in, he lets the divine feminine come in. And so that's where we're at. This is an energy we're talking about, not an individual. So then, and as a result, there it is, the Empress. So here's the card of the focus of this reading was the divine feminine. And she's the Empress reversed because she's being suppressed by this patriarchal force. And when she's allowed to express herself fully, or if she just does it, the whole world is going to heal. The Empress is the most powerful female card in the deck. And she goes right along with the star. The star is a spiritual card. These two together, and the star is coming. And we see the star is coming. And it was going to make the Empress upright. Right at the moment, because she's suppressed, still there's some suppression. She's blocked from fully giving her love to the world. The Empress represents all the abundance possible, all the queens together. She's loving, she's abundant, she's intelligent, she's good businesswoman. She shares, she teaches, she nurtures, she takes care of the children, but she also can run a business and, she even could be pregnant. I mean, it's everything. It's all the aspects of the feminine in the absolute best possible form that she can be in. So she's suppressed as long as the male energy continues to be really negative and immature and patriarchal. So then right above that, it's interesting. This is like an interesting reading because the next card up is the Lovers. So the Lovers upright is her energy. It's, true love, deep love, passion, harmony, good relationships, alignment. And these two together, it's going to heal when she's allowed to express herself, it's going to be the Lovers all over the world. And I don't mean just sexual lovers. I mean love taking precedence everywhere on earth. Where it'll be more important than war. Love will be more important than war. That's what's coming for us. um, but we have to overcome the past because the next card up is the past. And as the past is overcome, see, the past is wishful thinking, like dreaminess, thinking about how things used to be. As we move beyond wishful thinking into active manifestation, we get into the solution of the problem. And that takes courage and that takes open-heartedness and that takes love and friendship and community. And that's where we're headed. And sure enough, and it takes the love. And you allow the love in and get over the past. Guess what? Here comes you have two outcomes. And this is so right on. I can't believe it. So in a Celtic cross, you have two outcomes. You have the Queen of Pentacles. And there she is. This is one of the queens, and this is an abundant queen. She's in her best position. She has the fruits of labor. She's not as high as the Empress, but she will, become the Empress any minute now. So, fruits of her labor, rewards, luxury, everything, financial independence, everything. This is the highest queen, abundant financially, a good businesswoman. So when you let the love in, life becomes abundant, is what they're saying, and everything's stable and solid. So you can have that outcome, or you have another outcome. This is the likely, excuse me, let me take a drink of water. So this is the likely outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. And the other outcome, which you can choose, is the King of Pentacles reverse, which is super gnarly. No, we don't want him. This is overindulgence, stubbornness, unemotional, financially, ridiculous, like somebody who blows all his money. The King of Pentacles is supposed to be a stable family man who's got it all together, businessman, and he's taking care of everybody and you can count on him. But then he's like this. He's irresponsible financially. He's cold, closed-hearted, stubborn. And this is not the outcome. This would be the patriarchal male leader who's really selfish and who was harming the planet. People, some of these leaders that are harming the planet, or some of these, whoever they are. I'm not going to name names, but and this is not a political discussion. I mean, it's just people in general who run corporations and other things who are all about money, and they're not about good things for humanity. We don't want that. We want the Queen of Pentacles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify some of these cards as an extension of the reading. So I'm going to put up here the Empress and the Lovers. And yeah, let's put up the Knight and the Page of Cups reversed. I want to get some more info. Let's have the Star and the Ace of Cups. I'm going to put them on top of each other. Let's have the Past. I want to see what they mean by that. Let's have the Lovers. And let's have the King of Pentacles. Let's see who is that nasty character. Okay, so I'm gonna reshuffle and we're gonna see what comes out. We might get some of the same cards because that's how this works when you're clarifying the truth. It starts to come out. So here we go. Clarification for these cards, please. Clarification for the Divine Feminine reading. So how is the Divine Feminine going to overcome this, or how is she going to heal the planet? What can you tell us about the Divine Feminine? What can you tell us about the Divine Feminine? Clarification, please. Clarification. Okay, how many more shuffles? One. Clarification of the divine feminine, please. One more, okay. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, total makes sense there. Woo. No, you're not gonna stop us. Okay, the past is wow, amazing. Mm-hmm. This is pretty clear and it's really kind of dark. Um, again, so for these two characters here, the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups reversed, which I said were the negative qualities of the masculine, we got the King of Wands reversed, which is also very negative. Somebody very ruthless, impulsive, um, abusive, someone who uses his good looks against people or his cleverness or his charisma to ruthlessly get what he wants. And that's what's going on with that type of energy. And that's the distorted masculine. It's not the way all men are. This is not against men. When we're talking about the divine feminine healing, this is what's harming the divine feminine. And then we got for the star and the abundance, this is spiritual warfare. This is clear spiritual warfare. I mean, this is what I've been dealing with, folks. Those of you who know me and follow me know that I am definitely have been involved in spiritual warfare. I am a divine mother and I am a spiritual warrior and a Jedi warrior. And so we get these two cards, which is the star with the abundance. We immediately were attacked by dark forces. And this, I have been going through this for years. They come after me whenever I make progress, but I always win. And, it's just a struggle I have to go through, but he's not going to win. And he's trying, but he's not going to win because, in case you don't know, for those of you who don't know about the divine feminine, um, divine, the Holy Mother, whatever you want to call her, Mother Mary. There's all kinds of divine mothers in each culture. In China, it's Kuan Yin. Um, in India, that would be one of the many divine mothers like Amachi. But they're all the same energies. It's a high level mother energy. She's been given by God the authority to defeat all demonic forces. So she's higher than the demonic forces. There's nothing they can try and they can slow her down a little bit, but she has the ultimate say so over the demonic forces. So this is a battle that's going to be won. And in fact, it already has been. So then the next one we got here is the past has had divine intervention. So we have the divine intervention with temperance here is coming in to heal the past, to heal what's happened on this planet in the past. This is like higher, could be the Most High God. Um, it's your spirituality, an angel, divine intervention here to heal the past so that we can go into our abundance, and that includes with divine feminine. So for the Lovers card, we're getting, the negative aspect of the Lovers is heartbreak. So this is mental suffering connected to um, bad aspects of love, the negative aspect of love. And that's what would be blocking the divine aspect of love. So moving on, when for the King of Pentacles is a dark king, we have he's selfish and doesn't want to change and doesn't want anybody to tell him what to do. So he doesn't grow. We have two of wands reversed, which means there's no planning, no future, no goals. And that's what's going to happen to him is he's not going to go anywhere. And that kind of male energy, it's over. So, here the King of Pentacles is supposed to be the richest, most powerful of all the kings. And instead, he can't go forward because he's refusing to grow. He's stubborn. He's like, I don't have to. You can't tell me what to do. I'm just going to do things. I'm going to be selfish and do it the way I want to. And, we can see these people in the world. And so they're being stopped. So it's not going to go, they're not going to go forward anymore because it's the divine mothers that are going to go forward and come in with the abundance. And so we're engaged in spiritual warfare, but it's going to end. I'm going to do another row here, see what happens. Wow, all these wands, it just blows my mind. Okay. Okay, my timer went off, so we've gone past our time, but that's okay. I'm not going to stop because this is important. So here comes the battle, the spiritual battle. Um, we have, in order to, I don't know if you'd say rescue, but in order to protect the divine feminine so that she can do the work that she needs to do, here comes the warrior to heal, to create a safe space for her to do her healing work. So this is the Knight of Wands. He's going to come excuse me, the Knight of Swords. He's going to come in to protect the divine feminine. And this could be the divine masculines coming forward to protect the divine feminines and to remove these devil aspects. Because, the devil has been suppressing, however you conceive that to be, the divine feminine for thousands of years. We've been blocked from the planet because we will liberate this planet. And so they've devised all different ways. I know because they attack me all the time. But here comes our heroes. When the masculine and the feminine join together, we're going to see the planet heal. So when the divine masculine comes in, the good masculine, when that good masculine enters this space, you're going to see a healing take place, and it's going to be beautiful. And then on this part here with this negative males, or a whole row of negative males, we see there's a struggle. Again, there's a struggle inside this is an internal struggle going on inside of the masculines on the planet right now. They're trying to overcome their own negativity. And so this is Nine of Wands reversed. So that brings in a lot of exhaustion and a lot of paranoia, fatigue, defensiveness. So this is the negative aspects of the males that are not getting healed. These are all the negative males, and this is what's happening to them. They're exhausted because they're not choosing to heal. If they chose to heal, it would start to get better. And then this is when the good masculine coming in. And let's see what's next. Okay, this is cool. So once the intervention by the angelic forces, divine intervention, here comes the positive aspect of the Three of Cups: community, happiness, creativity. So it begins to heal the world. That's what this is about. When the divine intervention with the divine feminine comes in, the world will be healed and there'll be a great celebration taking place. And then we have, okay, so we have the Lovers and the Nine of Swords, which means that the negative aspect of love, which is painful, which could be part of the healing, like a heartbreak, you have to let go of the past, past lovers. There's going to be a Tower. But it's personal transformation on a global level. We're going to see a collapse of the way people do things, and a fear of change for a lot of people, but you're going to have to do it, Sorry. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping. What it shows here is the pain of healing your heart. When you heal your heart, you have to go through past heartbreak, and then you come out on the other side healed. And that's what the tower is that healing process, is personal transformation. So then we have the King of Pentacles over here. What's going to happen to him? Yep. Again, the negative male refusing to heal, scattered energy, delays, frustration, anger. So over here, the King of Pentacles and the refuse, he's not going anywhere. Because he's not focused. And then we're just describing general masculine energy that is not healed, not any one person in particular. This one is the good masculine that has healed and is coming in to protect the divine and to save or to create a safe space for the divine feminine. So I'm going to do one more row here and we'll see what's all going on. Three of Pentacles. So yeah, again, this is the negative male energy. And there's disharmony, there's being isolated, you can't get it done, can't get the job done because you're not working in teamwork. And you just don't really know how to align yourself with the powers that be that you need in order to get the job done. And that would mean an alignment between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, because the divine feminine will give the energy to the divine masculine so that he can do what he needs to do. And that's why it needs to be a teamwork. A lot of men just, we just want to have men on the team here, we're not going to have to talk to women about it. And I'm not saying that women, have to be everywhere, but the divine feminine energy needs to be inside of teams and decision-making processes, or you're just going to have destructive male energy or abusive male energy. So here it is again. They can't get anything done because it's reversed. And interesting, Um, so here we have so secrets coming to light. Yeah. So we have the row of the star and the abundance being trying to be blocked by the devil, but the hero comes in to save it, and secrets come to light. Oppression comes to light. We see what's really going on, what's been going on for a long time. The wisdom comes to the surface to from the divine feminine to heal this planet. That's what's going on here. Um, okay, and then we have to work on healing ourselves. So we may feel really tired as we go through this transformation into the divine feminine, and we might lose some strength for a while, but it's okay because we're gonna arrive at, a much better place once we've done our healing work. And then over here with this one, okay, wow, this is just really so with the Lover's card and the suffering that goes along with healing the heart, the Tower, and then there's a death of that situation. It's not a literal death, it's a death of the situation. And as that situation dies, you give birth to a new way of living that includes a balanced heart, a balanced and conditional love in the heart. So it's a healing of the heart that takes place, but something has to die for the heart to go on into a healed, balanced state. So it's the past, actually, the past has to heal, has to go. So then this final row, which is again the King of Pentacles, and he's not together, and he's got this Knight of Wands reversed, which is normally the Knight of Wands is a surging forward, but this one's like he can't get it together. Let's see what we got here. Justice. Wow. And on the bottom we have, so there's going to be justice for this situation, for everyone involved. So, men are oppressed too. They get oppressed because they're not allowed to feel. They're not allowed to be, receive the divine feminine. They're supposed to be tough and strong. And as a result, they've, passed on their wounds to the planet wherever they're in power. And so we women have had to take on a lot of the abuse and the pain and the wounds of the males. So, but the men are also wounded. So there's going to be justice for all of us. And when that happens, there's going to be healing. Let's see what else. Yeah, we're going to have to leave things behind. We're going to accept and move forward and find peace. And when that peace comes, we're going to forgive ourselves. And then we're going to wake up. This is a card of waking up, sudden awareness, choosing to be happy, and letting stuff go, and then they're making better decisions, and to work on a possible realignment with your higher self. And let's have one more. Yeah, and then we're going to get rid of the negative male and bring in the good males. So this is the Emperor reverse. We don't want him anymore. He's cold-blooded, ruthless. But if he's this way, he's going to be okay. And that's what we're not really looking for any particular men, to lead, or women. We're just looking for people that are open-hearted. So people that are balanced with both divine masculine and divine feminine, who will be good leaders. Let me just see, what else I get here with these. In fact, I'm going to do the energy deck real fast before I close it out. Did I bring the energy deck? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's open it up. Yeah, okay. There's been a lot of manipulation. We've been under mind control, narcissism, all that kind of stuff. And that's blocked our power. And it's time to get back to work, to do our personal work so that we're healed. And then we find our success. The success comes in. Okay, so that's good for that. I'm going to take these cards up. So everybody reads a little bit differently. I have my psychicness comes in when I read cards. So I'm very psychic, but it's even more so when I do these readings. So I'm going to do just a few energy cards real fast, and then we'll close it out. Divine Feminine, please. Divine Feminine. Calling all angels, tell us about this message for the Divine Feminine awakening the planet. See if there's anything more we want to add to this. Anything more we want to add to this? Okay. So we have patience on the bottom of the deck. And, there's a lot of indecision as people try to decide what to do with their healing process. That keeps you stuck. You're right at the crossroads. Which way are you going to go? You're going to go back into karmic living, like into the old 3D negative money grubbing, abusive lifestyle, where you got to scrabble for everything. And maybe there's no love relationships or whatever. Or you're going to go forward into the new. And when you do, yeah, things are going to get better. So you're going to have to make the right decisions about your money and about your life. So like this is in this particular position is maybe a money hungry woman. We don't want to be that way anymore. These are the ones, see, it's reversed. So that's not going to happen anymore. But instead, what's happening is the storm is over. The storm has ended, and we're going to move into our spiritual path right here. This is the spiritual path, whatever that is for you. If you're not doing your spiritual work, you're going to have a hard time with the darkness that's going to come to earth right now. So if you get on the temple path, whatever that is for you, and I can help you with that, you're going to find that your life will improve. And then perfect ending. This is a broken heart. This way is a healed heart. These two together show me that your heart is healing and that you're going to be okay. And and it's healing because you're allowing the divine feminine in. In fact, let me just take another card here. I'm getting a message. I'll take another card. Yeah, the angel of strength. So she's going to give you strength for this healing process. And then you're going to go on that journey, the healing journey, and you will find as you go on that journey, you will find your love, the angel of love, which is the divine feminine, and the angel of strength, the divine feminine, will help you to heal your broken hearts. Everybody's got a broken heart for one reason or another. It could be a relationship, it could be your family, it could be your job, it could be, people didn't respect you, or maybe you got abused. It could be any number of things. And we're all trying to heal our broken hearts, aren't we? We're all trying to get back to a balanced way of living with the energy of the divine in our hearts, of the love of the divine in our hearts. And that takes the input of the divine mother. That takes the female essence, the divine, like everybody has a mother when they're born and you nurse. And if you're lucky to have a mother, and we nurse our children, we nurture our children, we feed them, and that's part of nature. I mean, every animal does it, even in the plants and the fish and everything, they have that same process of creation and motherhood. And so when you are properly nourished and nurtured by the mother, your heart heals, your life becomes abundant. Abundance is directly connected to the divine feminine. All of the abundance manifestation rituals are about the female energy because that's what we do. That's why if the male creates a safe space for us, then we will create abundance and we will give it to the male. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. So, but if men just eliminate us completely, then they're struggling, and then that's when you get into thievery and trickery and deceit and illegal contracts and stuff like that because they're not following divine law. Divine law is the divine feminine is abundant. If she's protected and a sacred space, then she will let the abundance flow to her loved ones around her, which is everyone. So I hope that's helpful, help you understand a little bit more. And I think that'll do it for today's reading. I'm going to do another one here pretty soon. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Until the next time, I say namaste, Om Namah Shivaya, and I love you.